Hey guys, this is Anime Ball Z here, and today we're going to be doing the fourth part to What If Goku Had Doomsday's powers. This will probably be the last part because I only have the Moro arc and the Granola arc to finish. Those arcs don't really cover a part, so I think I'm going to wrap this whole What If off in the full movie. Please like the video if you haven't already and subscribe. It's totally free and you can unsubscribe whenever you want. There's nothing much else I'd like to say in the intro, so without further ado, let's get into the video.
Slick talker since a jet. Winter time, all the time, ooh, yeah. Look at the way that I move, swag, disrespectful and I'm rude, okay. I had cocaine in the school.
Following this great performance from Goku, his friends and him soon start to train under Whis. All of them unlock God Ki and start utilizing the great power of Super Saiyan God. When Whis spars Goku, he is forced to use much more power than he anticipated because his body has evolved to become very durable. Attacks that should break him down do as little as bother him. This makes him think twice about using his body as a shield. It's given him the habit of blocking hits instead of evading them. With his healing factor and resilient body though, he can spar for hours and hours on end whilst he just grows stronger. Goku ends up sparring his friends when they use Super Saiyan God and he's just in his base form. This throws him into the deep end whilst allowing him to grow stronger more effectively. On Earth at this time, something odd happens. In the Cell Saga where Perfect Cell was finally eliminated, he jolts up with his fully healed body. What is this? I'm alive, he realizes, patting himself down. This makes no sense to him. He remembers being in Goku's Kamehameha, then feeling everything around him just getting extremely hot and white. Then his memory kind of just ends there. This has to be because of Goku's DNA. Does this mean I'm immortal? So I am the perfect creation, Cell realizes, grandiosely puffing up his chest. With a smile of pride, this smile slowly degrades into something more maniacal, more sinister. He's now here to get his revenge. Cell begins unleashing his power on the planet. He destroys cities with just a wave of his palm and cackles as he does so. His mind has not changed, he is still the evil warrior that he always has been. In these events, the fighters on Earth that can sense Ki soon feel what's happening. It's Cell, he's back, Krillin says, after meeting up with Gohan. Is he? How's that possible? I saw him die, Gohan replies, also flabbergasted. I don't know, he doesn't even seem injured at all too, Krillin also adds. The Z fighters currently on Earth being Tien, Krillin and Gohan band together to arrive at the threat. Now Gohan's base form is superior to what it was in canon, but he can't use any other form but Super Saiyan. This is due to his lack of training. The only reason that his base power level is higher is because of his high birth power level. Oh, look how much you've grown, Gohan, Cell says patronizingly, with his arms crossed. You're a parasite, I don't even know how you've come back to life, Gohan replies, getting angrier just by looking at him. Gohan detests people of his type, those that see no value in human life. The fact that he has already killed hundreds of thousands of innocents is abhorring to him. Gohan begins the battle himself, strugglingly powering up into Super Saiyan. Just as he attempts to strike Cell, his body takes the impact with ease. Just as brutally as he took down Goku, Cell propels several of his crystals through Gohan's whole body. The injuries he receives look brutal as a mixture of flesh and blood flies out his back. This single mortal wound is enough to almost put him out of action. Coughing out blood, the humans rush to his aid and think that he's lost his life, only to see that his body heals. It heals at alarming rates for that matter, and the pain is gone in seconds. Look at that amazing healing factor of yours, Cell says, before aiming to attack him again. Destructo Disc, Krillin calls out, shooting a disc straight towards Cell to try and take him out. However, he catches it and lets the spinning edge try its hardest to dig into his flesh. He's simply too durable, and the flat spinning disc does nothing to him. Throwing it to the side, he smirks before they all sense numerous key signatures heading their way, Frieza's army. As they let loose, they attack the humans stood there and even attack Cell. This is a great annoyance to him. He would have let them do as they wished if they didn't actively try to attack him. These soldiers are complete fodder to Cell, who kills them all in mere seconds. His overwhelming speed is enough to take them out completely, and all that is left for him to deal with is Frieza himself. So, you're Frieza, Cell says, surprised to see him. What are you supposed to be? Frieza then asks, surprised by his odd alien appearance. Part you, part those sea fighters back there, part Saiyan, he bluntly states. You're helping them? No, of course not, I'm here to kill Goku. I'm here to do that, Frieza then replies, before they kind of have a stare down. Well, I'm going to make sure that I kill Goku, not you, Cell shouts, powering up. You pale in comparison to me, Frieza. Think twice about going against me. Cell runs straight at him and lands a clean sucker punch to the startled Emperor. He flies out of his pod then receives a beatdown from the perfect warrior. In anger though, he lets loose his power and enters his fourth form. In this sleeker, stronger state of his, Cell has met his match. This Frieza was battling canon base form Goku. Cell might be a very strong, adept warrior, but he can't do the impossible. Getting floored with a single punch to his stomach, he almost can't believe it. Even after his body has been made more durable from several fights and exposure to blunt trauma, this hit still hurts a lot. The pain does go away quite quickly, but not quickly enough to let him evade the next attack that's coming. Frieza cracks his skull with a knee to his head before launching several death beams into his body. Thinking that those blasts just might do the job, he soon finds that the wounds just seal up quite quickly. "You are quite the organism, aren't you?" Frieza says jokingly, before lifting a palm and unleashing a powerful energy wave straight at him. "I'm sorry, but I've come here to kill Goku. Even if we have the same objective, I need to get my revenge," Frieza claims, dusting off his hands. Black powder is left on the ground where Cell was defeated, but this powder starts rumbling. Frieza looks back to it and has no clue what's happening. Soon a tower of this powder lifts and condenses into what looks like the skeletal bones of an arm. Muscle then forms over these bones and a full-on muscular skeletal model is formed. On top of that, Cell's skin is formed and he is renewed from his near-death state. "Wow, would you look at that," Cell says, surprised at his body's powers. Frieza's eye twitches with irritation. Leaping straight at him, entering his buff 100% form, he swipes his hand and decapitates the fighter with the raw speed of his swipe. His head drops clean off and his body falls right after. However, his head and body almost reconnect, letting him revive himself once again. Just as Frieza wants to try and attack Cell again, Goku lands. Both fighters look alerted and livened by his presence. Upon arriving, he thought that he'd be facing Frieza, but is also shocked to see Cell here and alive. "How are you alive?" Goku asks, looking back to Cell. "I'm the perfect creation, Goku, I cannot be killed." Goku looks back to Frieza, but Cell remains stood there silently. With a slight smirk on his face, he has a plan, a really good plan. "And you, Frieza, I killed you all those years ago, but you're back now, causing even more problems," Goku then asks, like an annoyed parent berating their child. "When I was weaker, yes, now you do not match my power," Frieza says, regally lifting his arms. Before he can say anything more, Cell pounces on him then begins to absorb him. Cell looks frightened by the sight and the power-up is absolutely insane here. The light from the fusion is white then turns to golden, revealing a new and improved Cell. Golden Cell. Who would have thought that he had this much power hiding within him, Cell says, overjoyed with the power that he's attained. "He can absorb people like Frieza too," Raditz says, standing beside Goku. "It looks like he can," Goku replies. "Now I can properly introduce myself. As you know, I am the perfect, immortal Cell. No matter how many times you kill me, I only come back stronger and stronger. With this much power, nobody shall match me," Cell claims, before blasting off toward Goku. Sucker punching him, the fight is on right away. Feeling the strong but fading ache in his cheek, Goku is taken off guard by how powerful that incoming punch was. Even if Cell absorbed Frieza, both of them are supposed to be complete fodder to him now. How much amplification occurred in this fusion? If his body wasn't as durable as it is, that hit would have killed him, therefore this is his cue to transform. Entering his Super Saiyan 3 form, he then adds some flair by applying Kaioken to it. Given an 800 times multiplier right off the bat, he feels ready to go. With two taxing states in combination with one another, it is adding great strain to his body. Focusing on his training with Whis, he also hasn't put much stock into Kaioken recently. Commenting their battle with a jab, Cell readily deflects the punch before taking the two sweep kicks that he subsequently throws in quick succession. Whipping his arm around to try and clip Cell with a speedy hook, the Golden Fighter just dips down to let this Titan fist fly over his head. He then throws a strike right onto Goku's chest, throwing back his whole body. After taking the impact of that hit, he makes himself stronger to give himself a better shot. Utilizing Super Saiyan God now, he receives a pretty hefty boost to his strength right off the bat. However, even this isn't enough to take down Golden Cell. Not only has he absorbed Frieza's power, but has been further strengthened. Semi-Perfect Cell isn't just the power of Imperfect Cell in 17 put together, but something beyond even that. Therefore, Goku begins using Super Saiyan Blue, the new state they have acquired over plenty training. "I must say that you Saiyans do surprise me. It looks like your progress hasn't been stagnant over all this time, has it?" Cell says, before Goku shuts him up with his advance. Goku tries to take him off guard with the initial strike, an elbow aimed right at his head. He knocks his head right back, but it doesn't really do much to hurt him. For Goku as well, the strikes he receives are easy to manage. This makes it hard for him to gauge just how strong Cell might be. Cell might be stronger than him, but since his body is so durable, he could take those attacks anyway. "Alright then Cell, I've had enough of this fight," Goku declares. "Oh, have you? I wonder why," Cell shouts, crossing his arms. The mighty Golden Warrior awaits Goku's next move, and his next move is to begin using Kaioken times 20. This immediate 20 times boost is just what he needs to raise Cell to the ground, preparing his Kamehameha wave the onlookers retreat. Krillin, Tien and Gohan react by doing the same, but the other Saiyans that train with him know just how much firepower he has. This blast would scorch them if it were to hit them. Unleashing the blast, Cell just seems to stand there and let it hit him. Standing there, Cell's body is revealed to be bleeding and bruised, but nothing like the pile of dust that it was before. "What kills me once can never kill me again," Cell shouts before Goku interrupts him. He arrives in front of him, releasing wave after wave of crystal shards. He just continues throwing them out and doesn't give Cell even a split second to think. Each crystal shard begins to shred through his body and cause a lot of damage. Soon enough, Cell's nucleus is destroyed by his incessant projectiles and what's left of him cannot regenerate. A pile of blood-covered mush, it looks like the job is done. Maybe that'll do it, Goku realizes, seeing nothing special happening with his body. He managed to damage Cell's body faster than it could heal, leading it to this irreversible state of death. Finishing off with an energy blast being launched right at the remains, it seems like the job is done. The fighters rather tentatively leave the area and hope that that's the end of Cell, for now at least. Goku, Vegeta, Nappa and Raditz all train together and they train hard for the upcoming Universe 6 saga. By the end of their training, Super Saiyan God Goku scales above even MEY Goku from the Granola arc. He's grown so strong now that it's mental, with a far more durable body and his special healing factor, energy absorption and passive evolution, he just grows and grows. After spending his whole life training and fighting, his body now passively grows stronger. The process isn't very fast, but he can get twice as strong in a few years' time even if he's just sitting around. This makes the gap between him and his friends only enlarge. Even with just the likes of Goku to start off the fight, he defeats every foe that he faces. After receiving the poison from Frost, his body just learned to handle the poison to the point where he could defeat him. It's not like he became totally immune to the poison in seconds, but he learned to tolerate it over time. Any punch that lands on him he can take, any energy blast is just absorbed by him, he just seems unbeatable. As for the future Trunks arc, he arrives in the future timeline but by a thread. Goku Black has the body of one of the greatest specimens in the multiverse. The perks his body has makes him practically unbeatable. Arriving in the future, there is a massive hole in his torso and he collapses upon arrival. He is in a much worse state compared to before and looks panicked as he awakes. Goku is the first word that he shouts before throwing Bulma to the side. Screaming whilst coughing blood, he looks around while in shock before passing out from the massive wound in his stomach. After this, Bulma takes him in to heal him and in this time the Saiyans arrive. Everyone is very confused by what's happened here since he was basically acting like a psycho. Upon waking up this second time, he acts in a similar way. Grabbing Goku, he shouts at the top of his lungs and enters his Super Saiyan 2 state. Blowing away the gurney he was just being healed on, everyone is alerted. "It's you," he shouts before calming. "Wait Goku, I'm so sorry," he says before falling back and nearly reaching tears. "Just calm down, tell me what's happened to you," Goku says. After explaining to them what's happened, everyone is horrified. Someone like Goku's body in the hands of someone else, it reminds them all of Golden Cell. This will be a very dangerous threat and they're surprised that Trunks survived. "I had to enter the hyperbolic time chamber a few times. I got to a long head Super Saiyan form but couldn't do anything else after. I got stuck and couldn't grow as much," Trunks announces. This version of future Trunks is a real beast. I mean, after spending years training to fight somebody he assumed he could never beat, he looks like a true warrior. Like future Gohan, there's a scar down his face and his body is very muscular. Just as the group look to reach the future, something odd occurs. They all sense a powerful key and know just who it's coming from, Cell. "I'm back again," Cell realizes, leaping back up to his feet. This is getting annoying now. He doesn't even want to kill Goku anymore if this happens. If he has this power from Goku, wouldn't the same thing just happen to him if he happened to defeat Goku? "We might just have another asset to our team," Goku says, mischievously smiling. The others give him death stares, trying to persuade him not to do what they think he will. After taking their thoughts into consideration, Goku is still convinced. Before Cell can even go anywhere, Goku lands in front of him. "You," Cell shouts. He looks hostile, but Goku then gives him a proposition. A chance for him to kill another version of him. Cell is spooked by this offer, but takes him up on it anyway. After this, he sees that he's immortal and could just end up living forever. Goku is most likely immortal as well. What's the use in constantly fighting him if they just resurrect when they lose? Killing Goku again, even if it is some random incarnation of him, sounds exciting. The newly formed group of fighters arrive at the past, with Golden Cell taking on Goku Black first. This person really is Goku, how spooky, he realizes, looking at the floating warrior more intently. "Who are you supposed to be?" Goku Black asks, teeming with confidence. After beating up fighters like future Trunks repeatedly, his ego has grown to insane levels. In his eyes, he truly is a god. With a divine soul and an unbreakable body, he is the ultimate being. Another being with an identical mentality is Cell, two egocentric, immortal powerhouses staring each other down. A perfect being, made specifically to destroy that body that you have in fact, Cell says, pointing at him. That will be impossible, Goku Black affirms, not even thinking twice about saying that. Will it? Will it really? Cell asks, before speed blitzing him. Even if he is occupying the body of Goku, his mind hasn't become totally synchronized with it. He isn't aware of all of his abilities and how far he can really take himself. Cell punches Goku Black through an entire building, reducing it to nothing but rubble. As he advances, the fallen warrior attempts to keep him away with the use of an energy blast. However, using his razor-sharp reflexes, he tries to catch the blast only to feel that he can absorb it. It's sucked into his body and he looks down to his palm with surprise. Wow, he whispers, before getting back into his battle mind. Goku Black is brutally beat down, sent through buildings and just bullied really. Wildly throwing all his weight behind a strike, Cell evades and relentlessly wallops him. Shattering his ribs with a hit onto the center of his chest, Goku Black just collapses. You have his body, but it's like you don't even know what you're doing. What a weakling, Cell announces, lifting his hand to blast him. Before he can though, Cell sees a spear-like projectile land on his body. It looks on trajectory to pierce him, but his body is simply too strong. It kind of just bounces off, leaving not even a graze on him. Zamasu grabs Goku Black and retreats, and his body begins to heal itself. His divine power and the accelerated healing factor of this body makes him heal much faster. He can feel his mind growing more connected to his body in addition, and he then enters his own Super Saiyan Rosé state. Using this form of Goku's body from after the Universe 6 training, Cell will be in for a lot. Goku Black drops down, grabs him and throws him into what resembles a multi-story car park beside them. Kicking him up into some of the upper floors, the Golden Fighter harshly lands on the dark concrete floor, grunting in pain. Before he can lift and dish out any attacks of his own, the intense assault continues. He just repeatedly gets hit and he ends up in terrible condition. Covered in his own blood and near the edge of this car park, Goku Black begins using his key scythe that uses a bony crystal protrusion as its base, so it's no longer cloaking just his hand. Swiping this shard that is imbued with the power of his ki, he slices Cell into many small pieces. One form of damage that Cell and Goku's bodies aren't as resilient to is cutting damage. When cutting up Cell into tiny fragments, he just continues slicing until he is left in many small pieces. Seeing this horrifying sight, Goku steps in to chip in and help. To be honest, they know that he's going to come back anyway, but they still have a warrior to fight. Goku roars, charging his ki as he enters Super Saiyan Blue. Goku roars, charging his ki as he enters Super Saiyan Blue. His aura cracks the tarmac ground that he stood on, and his hair continues to flow wildly. The true power of Goku is unleashed. The power that Goku Black still struggles to harness. Goku aims lower for his initial punch in the form of a right hand straight to his solar plexus. The pink-haired Saiyan reveals his scythe, throwing the crystal-like rod straight at his head. All that his glowing pink aura touches though is his flowing blue hair. Given this chance, Goku then throws several crystals straight at his neck. He knows his body. Ordinary punches won't do much, but if he can resort to cutting damage, he could win. Goku Black now knows of his ability to absorb energies though, therefore he can't rely on energy-based attacks. As the rod comes flying at Goku, he grabs it and just sucks the energy right out of it. Flowing into his hand, the aura soon vanishes and then he starts reaching further. It turns out that he can not only absorb the energy from energy-based attacks, he can absorb the energy from people directly. Goku Black can feel this, then wants to pull back, but can then feel his power being sucked right from him. It's almost a suffocating feeling, but he eventually pulls back. He looks to fight some more, but Goku just lands a cheap shot across the jaw with the rod before kicking at its end. The little kick knocks off a portion of the rod, revealing a rusty sharp end that he uses to stab right through Goku Black's heart. Before he can continue on and fight, Goku resorts to his crystal barrage. Releasing numerous crystals, Goku Black just gets overwhelmed by the number of shards being launched straight at him. The assault is seemingly incessant and he holds his hand up tightly to protect himself. The fact that he soon sees wide holes appearing in his arms scare him the most. This could really be the end for him. What affects him more are the holes created around his upper chest and heart. Those holes will cause more grave, near irreversible damage. Seeing this, Zamasu wants to do something. He's immortal, but he's truly immortal. It's not like he dies then gets resurrected. He never even dies in the first place. He tries to approach the fighting scene but is stopped by Raditz, Nappa and Vegeta. They all enter their Super Saiyan Blue forms and stop him in place. The arrogant god tries to battle them but soon meets the wrath of this powerful resistance. Raditz grabs him and kicks him through a large building before Vegeta dives down to kick him into the ground. To finish off, Nappa just adds insult to injury with some ground and pound, using his weight to deliver more powerful shots. It's safe to say that Zamasu isn't going to get out of this situation very easily. Goku then uses one of his Burning Crystal shards along with another to just swipe at Goku Black endlessly. Similar to how he destroyed Golden Cell, he is reduced to small fragments by the much stronger Goku. After so long, he's been growing stronger whilst Goku Black has just been bullying the weak. Additionally, his body is just growing stronger as he fights and lives, evolving himself toward the art of battle. With Goku Black's mind not fully synchronized with his body, he also can't harness the full ability of his body either. The fight is over, Goku Black is no more. With Zamasu kept down by Vegeta's key handcuffs that he used in the canon Buu saga, he cannot move. He can't die, but he also can't move. Utilizing Zeno here, Zamasu is no more and future Trunks' universe has been saved. They also get rid of Goku Black. They assume that Golden Cell's immortality hails from Goku and Goku Black has Goku's body. They do not want Goku Black to come back in the future timeline and cause future Trunks even more problems. This has given Goku great insight into his power. With his great durability come great weaknesses as well. The stimuli that his body hasn't grown accustomed to makes it so that he isn't immune to everything. Before they leave though, they take Cell's remains. They know that he will come back in due time and don't want to make future Trunks deal with his antics when he is revived. The Saiyans return to their training and Goku starts reaching for the skies in terms of how strong he's getting. Soon no body will be a match for him. Standing before Beerus, the god of destruction, has been slightly entertained by the fights at hand. He can see that Goku has almost evolved to become the perfect warrior. His use of crystal projection makes it hard for fighters to get close to him. Even if they could close down the range, their physical attacks would do little to hurt him. Finally, key projection is of no use because he can absorb that power. The first two problems are annoying, but when the fighter is much stronger, they can be mitigated. Beerus stands before Goku with his arms crossed. After so much training under Whis and with a much stronger body, Goku can now use the power of Ultra Instinct. Resorting to UI Omen to begin with, he races at Beerus and the fight is on. As he advances, the god falls back before sharply running ahead. He tries to catch Goku off guard and he does, landing the attacks he wished. He is then back at range and on the defense. Goku tests the waters and projects several crystal shards from his knuckles. All of them are deflected by Beerus. "You're going to have to try way harder if you want to hit me," Beerus replies. Goku takes this claim as a challenge. Closing the distance between them, he tries to attack only to see that his attempt at doing so is futile. His knuckles come to rest on Beerus' vibrating palm as it tries to keep his hand back. Right after this, Beerus pulls his arm forward and tries to hit him only to see his body swerve out the way so that his fist moves past his face. The fight continues and it keeps the onlookers on their toes. However, both are so quick and decisive that not much hits are landed. "I never thought I'd have to use this much power on anyone but Whis or my brother Champa, let alone a mortal. You've done a good job here, Saiyan," Beerus says, before his raging fury aura takes form. The ground shakes from the power that he outputs and Beerus crouches down. The charging of ki causes the grass around him to flow wildly and chaotically. Beerus is getting serious now. Raditz, Nappa and Vegeta take closer looks here. The former two just want to see a Saiyan defeat Beerus, but Vegeta is taking notes, trying to learn something new for himself. Charging straight toward Goku, a crystal shard is launched at him. It just about reaches past his cheek and chips at it, leaving a graze. Beerus' eyes are focused on him though, not this random shard. He then lets loose, even surprising Goku with how strong he's become. His attacks no longer just feel painless, but have some serious weight to them. Startling Goku and catching him off guard, he manages to use an up-close blast before he can absorb it with his hands. This throws him back and launches him across the ground. Beerus' ki blasts are very destructive and this can be seen in Goku's physical state after this. He slowly raises and the wounds fade, but he now knows just how strong Beerus is now. This is where Goku takes a gamble. Remaining in UI Omen, this allows him to use a certain form as well. "Kaioken times 50, he announces, feeling the immediate strain on his body. It's like he's in 1,000 times gravity and looks like he might have just ended the fight for himself. The power from this increase is so much that the ground starts quaking. Beerus stands there shocked, but his face of shock soon turns to that of excitement. Goku falls to a knee, struggling to take the pain, and it looks like he'll back out, but no, he stands up and stomachs the pain before he is stopped right there. Whis appears in front of him though, to stop him. "I appreciate your spar, but it's getting out of control. You are still the god of destruction, Beerus. Many others have their lives tied to yours," Whis explains. Goku might not be as strong as Beerus here, but he has a lot of perks. Absorbing energy means that he could use Beerus' own power against him directly if he isn't careful. Therefore, the fight is postponed, not called off but just pushed to a later date. Whis won't keep Beerus away from this battle forever. Now what is to come is the Tournament of Power. Beerus berated Goku in canon for trying to set up this deathmatch just because of his selfish desire to fight strong people. However, no such fear is seen in this timeline. Goku has eclipsed the power of every god of destruction besides Beerus. He would be very surprised if a fighter from another universe could beat him. As Goku is up against Toppo, he really starts showing off his abilities. Toppo, even when using his God Ki abilities, cannot hold a flame to Goku. When he is just in his base form, the gap in their strength is wild. Toppo, taking time to charge up his ki before shooting off toward Goku, is thrown right off from him, grabbing his hand and just spinning around to hurl him away. After this amazing performance, the other gods of destruction watching this are shaking in their boots. For the upcoming tournament, Universe 7 must form a roster. To begin with, Goku, Vegeta, Raditz, Nappa, Tien, Krillin and Gohan are chosen. 3 more fighters need to be chosen to fill up the roster here. The first fighter they choose is Master Roshi. The old-aged warrior wants to fight to protect his own universe. He is decently powerful, so they let him fight. The next 2 warriors still need to be chosen here. The next fighter that gets chosen is Goten. When they see Goten and Trunks training back on Earth, the gap between them is so very apparent. He has Super Saiyan 3 already and is a powerhouse. With Cell's remains back in their timeline, they wish for Golden Cell to be revived. Shenron completes their wish and Golden Cell is revived within one of the pods within Bulma's capsule core. They've been keeping his remains there and he slams his hand onto the glass, shattering it. Liquid goes oozing out in almost all directions, but he looks completely fine. That guy got me. What's up with all these Gokus? Cell asks himself, looking at his wet body. Cell, it's good to have you back, Goku says from beside him. Cell reacts with aggression, swinging his fist straight into Goku's jaw before he utters another word. Goku crashes into one of Bulma's workbenches and goes rolling back. I'm sorry about what happened in the future, but we need your help now, Goku explains. Help? Cell asks, still breathing a little intensely. With what? It takes a lot of convincing and Goku reiterates the fact that he can be left to his own devices after the tournament. If he tries to ruthlessly murder innocents though, he won't let that slide. He needs to make sure that he is kept in check at least a little bit. For the tournament, the fighters stand close by one another, but then Gohan, Goten and the humans branch off to fight together. After some training, Gohan already has Super Saiyan 2. It just shows how elite his genetics are and his amazing talent. Golden Cell stands before Dispo and Toppo, smirking pridefully. Hello there warriors, Cell says with his grandiose Oroton voice. Dispo cuts him off right there and advances with great speed, striking his chest twice and in quick succession he does nothing. This is how strong your universe is, really? Cell asks, before backhanding Dispo across his jaw. The fighter is sent to his knees, gasping for air. With a light kick he is thrown right off the ring. Toppo sees this and then begins using his ultimate power. After training under Belmod to eventually succeed him as God of Destruction, he is nothing to laugh at, well not when it's Cell. The burly warrior takes over, leaping forward to put all of his weight behind a punch to Cell's head. It knocks his head back a little, but only because he lets that happen. Holding his knuckles out just inches ahead of his chest, crystal shards fly into and through Toppo's body. This brutal assault leaves him with grave, life-threatening injuries. Cell wants to go further and really kill this fighter but sees no need to do so. He just grabs Toppo's arm and swings him out the ring in one go, eliminating him. As for Goku, he stands before Jiren and both face off. Goku runs right at him and punches him, only managing to hit his lifted forearms. He nimbly slides under Jiren's legs, bringing back up to his feet to deliver 2 punches to his back. Jiren swings around to swiftly land an elbow to his chest, but Goku takes the hit and barely even moves. He follows with even more attacks, but none seem to shake him up. Goku can face his friends when they're in Super Saiyan God and feel unfazed by their attacks. This level of Goku is relative to literally Beerus when he uses his full power. The fight is a done deal. Jiren tries to punch him again, but Goku dips under his large fist and lands a hit of his own. This rocks him since he hasn't held back this time. Goku then continues with punch after punch and kick after kick. He beats him to the edge of the ring and he looks in very poor condition. Jiren lifts his hand to try and retaliate, only to see a crystal shard cut through his hand and into his chest. He rips the long shard out, which causes volumes of blood to pour out these wounds. I'm sorry Jiren, you are a strong warrior and I commend you for that, but I have to save my own universe, Goku says, jump kicking Jiren right off the ring. Landing, reflexively entering a fighting stance, the fight is pretty much over. For everyone else on the ring, the battle's pretty much won. The other foes are easily defeated by the numerous talents of Universe 7. Raditz just dusts off his hands, standing by Nappa and Vegeta as they help take down Kefla. There we are, these universes were nothing to us, Raditz claims, powering out of Super Saiyan 3. We have Kakarot to thank for that, Nappa says, looking to the fire that helped them reach this level. So that will conclude the 4th part to what if Goku had Doomsday's powers. Please tell me something you liked about this video, or something that I should improve on for the next one. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.